Uh, Good afternoon, or good evening, or good morning, depending on your time zone, where you're from, and all that good stuff. I am Dex. That's me. This is Breaking the Stigma. I don't remember what episode. All I know is I thank you for tuning in. Um, on YouTube, this should be Strictly Prohibited Network. It might also be on my other channel on YouTube, Bruce Thumps Gaming, and on Twitch. I'm there too. Uh, Now that I've done my rambling intro, I am done playing around. So we're gonna get straight into it. First topic of the day, because like I told you guys, anybody who's ever watched Breaking the Stigma knows how we operate. We're gonna start by talking about some generational curses that need to be broken. Um, I have a list, and I think I think it's time to address the list. I got a few bullet points per each topic, but the first thing that my people need to do is to stop using religion to oppress others. Let that sink in. Think about what I said, and then I'm gonna tell it to you one more time. Stop using religion to oppress others. Okay, just because you grew up in the church house, big mama, daddy, aunties, and uncles had you at the church every other day, 5, 6 days a week, because that's all they knew. That does not mean that that's how it has to be. Okay. Another thing you got to do is you got to understand that the religion that you believe in, you may be a Christian, right? You over there in the black shirt around the corner. Yeah, you might be a Christian, right? Whereas old boy down the street, he could be a Muslim. I have primitive Baptists in my family. I have atheists in my family. You know, I'm non-denominational. I'm not really religious. I'm more of a I have a spiritual walk, but I'm not religious at all. And the thing you got to remember is, just because I'm not Christian or that person is Muslim does not mean they're beneath you. So, and another thing you got to do is you got to remember, if I'm asking you for advice or help, I'm not asking you to tell me, oh, you're going to pray for me and hope it gets better. No, I need a goddamn answer. That's why I came to you for help. You're older than me. You're wiser than me. I need some guidance, not, oh, well, just pray about it. It'll work itself out. If praying about it was going to work it out, don't you think I would have figured it the fuck out by now? Just saying. So help me make it make sense. Okay. You're telling me that I'm a Donald Trump y'all real quick. You know. Oh, look, another school shooting. We're gonna offer our thoughts and prayers. Those thoughts and prayers ain't changed shit yet, has it? You want to know what stopped school shootings? Coronavirus stopped school shootings. Let that sink in. There ain't been school shootings because there ain't nobody been to school to shoot anyone. Your thoughts and prayers didn't do shit. Because every day, whether you like it or not, there's another person that is getting bullied. There's another person with depression. There's another person with homicidal or suicidal thoughts that you look at as an afterthought, and then they've reached their breaking point. And your thoughts and prayers is not going to stop them from going over the edge. Actually taking action stops them from going over the edge. Does any of this make sense? What'd you say, Floyd? I have to stop effing. Oh, you have to stop swearing. You're a Methodist. I mean, hey, whatever denomination you roll with, that's yours to roll with. And I'm not going to judge you one way or another. I've got Catholics in my family. I know plenty of Methodists. I know Baptists. Like I said, I've got plenty in my family line. That doesn't mean just because my cousin's Catholic, I look at my cousin like they're crazy. Nah. To be honest, I like the uh, I used to want to when I grew up. I used to like Catholic Church because they weren't there nowhere near as long as I was on Sundays. I got to church on like 7:45, 8 o'clock on Sunday morning, and didn't get home to 5, 6 o'clock at night. And I'm like, and I gotta go back on Wednesday for Bible study, and then again on Friday for choir rehearsal, then on Saturday for youth meeting. I'm tired, boss. Damn. Yeah, I do have to. I mean, I'm a Marine vet. I know I need to work on the cussing, but as my CEO used to say, sentence enhancers. I mean, just getting the point across a little bit. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's one of the generational curses we need to break. Stop using your religion to hammer people, because guess what? I need somebody who is just as educated or a little bit more educated than me to look up how Christianity got to America. For all y'all that's gonna be watching on YouTube or a video on demand later, you can pause right here because don't worry, I'll wait. I'll wait for you to come back. Oh, it wasn't natural. Mm, yeah, that same Christianity that the Ku Klux Klan used to use to try to suppress the black community, right? The same that same white Jesus that, by the way, that is not Jesus in those pictures that you see. It never has been. Just want y'all to know that. I am a big believer in fellow man. Not too happy lately. I definitely agree with you there, Floyd. You should always be looking out for your fellow man. And you're absolutely right. The way people have been treating each other as of late, damn sure ain't it. Yeah, there you go. All right. So that's one of the generational curses I'm gonna address today. Is we got to stop using religion to, oh well, you're going through this because you didn't pray about it, or I'm sorry you can't figure out how to you know get this part to do this and to fit over there. Maybe if you prayed about it, or if you stopped being a heathen, you wouldn't have to. Yeah, I had those problems with Big Mama too. She used to drive me nuts with that bullshit. But I love her though. That's my grandma. Something else we need to do. Speaking of grandmas, you know, you ever been to your family reunion or something, and you got that one uncle that everyone tells you got to keep an eye on? Why hasn't anybody whipped his ass instead of protecting him? If y'all know the Uncle Rome be grabbing on the little girls in the family, why does he still have his hands? I'm just saying, why does he still have his hands? If I got an uncle that is touching on kids, he gonna meet my hand upside his head. You know. Yeah, I'm trying not to use all of the other tools that we have in our software suite, because this is actually a serious situation, serious topic. So I'm trying not to laugh about it. But why hasn't somebody busted his ass? Why hasn't somebody called law enforcement and reported his ass? The damn man is a. I get you. I get you. You're not a big preaching big. I'm not preaching big guy. Okay. I got you. I got you. I mean, but still, why are you not? Why are you protecting him? Hmm? I don't give a damn if he's your uncle, your cousin, your brother. It don't matter. You're supposed to be your brother's keeper, right? Because me, I'm a parent to two teenage black children, and I'm gonna tell you a little secret. My daughters look like grown women, but that won't stop me from to nailing your ass to a wall and cutting your damn head off if I have to, if it comes to you doing something to my kids. Instead of protecting these predators that are in our family, instead of protecting these people that abuse people in our family, the ones who like to get drunk all the time and just berate everyone because they drunk, somebody needs to check them. And don't mind me, I'm violent by nature because of my training. You don't have to check. You don't to check somebody. You don't have to put your hands on them. That guy right there in the chat, tricking on, aka Matt Mike. They can check you verbally in a way to where you just be like, I'm gonna go curl up in this corner right quick. You know what? Don't nobody talk to me for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Nah, did these two see? Oh, and by the way, my fiance is from Shreveport, Louisiana, by way of Chicago, Illinois, by way of Little Rock, Arkansas. She got a mouth on her. She can check you if she wants to. Nah, after she recovers from me pushing her down the stairs, she got on my nerves. So I just pushed her. Whoop, you know what I'm saying? Hey, it happens. Anywho, but still, don't protect people like that uncle of yours that you just be, you know, you know, that one person that at the family reunion you always keep an eye on. Why are you always keeping an eye on them? You don't trust them. Why don't you trust them? If you know you don't trust them, then why haven't you checked him for doing the things that makes you not trust him? Just like, and I'm gonna take it to a whole nother situation. Your cousin's strung out on drugs. Why aren't you trying to get them help? That's still protecting them. Why are you just sitting back saying, "Oh, it's a damn shame what happened to them"? Well, why didn't you step? Why didn't you step up and say, "You know what? I'm gonna help you get clean"? My brother decided he was gonna go sober because he was making horrible decisions when he got drunk. I said, "I'll go sober with him, show him support," because that's what brothers do. Are you willing to step up to somebody when you see them down and say, "Okay, let me help them because they need the help"? Just saying. Don't enable. Don't enable. Like, yeah, I possibly might have a slight problem when it comes to uh, substances that contain THC in them because I like the feeling, and I like not feeling the pain, the constant pain in my back. But still, don't enable. Like, if you know that I have a problem with tequila, why when it's my birthday you say let's go to the Mexican restaurant and drinks are on you. How's that helping me? So my progress, my sanity, my nothing means nothing. You just, oh, okay, drinks on you. I just told you I'm trying to be sober. Like, it's hard enough for me trying not to put myself in positions to to fall in that trap. But for you to actually and try to enable me by putting it in my face, saying, "Come on, let's go do this," that's not what I need. I'm gonna have to cut you loose, bro. That no, don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. Yes, Kim. Jealousy does come in many forms, and we experience it. It seems like daily as of late. But I'm a because because it's Sunday and people got stuff to do. Like dinners and stuff since it's 6 o'clock on the east. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next topic, which is gonna be toxic masculinity. Y'all know anything about that? About yeah, guess what? Well, what's up, Peach? Appreciate you, but yeah, toxic masculinity. I'm gonna break it down to the simplest forms for you. No means no. It doesn't matter what the hell you've been taught about. You the man. You supposed to be able to do whatever the fuck you want to do, or you no 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 no. Remember I told you I had two daughters. If my child comes home to me and says she didn't want you to touch her and you touched her, you don't have to worry about touching nobody else. Because either I'm going to cut your fucking hands off or I'm going to end your life. I'm not like everybody else. I'll gladly ride that charge because these same people that you see in this chat, more than likely they'll bail me out or they'll start a GoFundMe. And as you've seen, social movements are working. They will help your boy out. I'm just saying. A father protecting his children. Yeah, think about that. But no means no, bruh. Like, for real. Listen, something as simple as being told no, you need to learn how to accept being told no. And it isn't just a physical contact kind of thing either. Being told no, you need to learn how to accept being told no in your personal life, in your workplace life, your which includes business. You know, hell, you need to learn how to be told no in gaming. I'm a gamer by trade. Yoink! That's stars. That's Resident Evil for those of y'all. Look, I game with one of the people in my chat. Her name is Peaches. Peaches Gaming. Okay. There have been times when I wanted to play something, they won't play something else. Being told no doesn't mean that we're not gonna play what I wanted to play. It just means we're not playing it right now. You know, none of us are the GMs of our favorite sports teams, right? We should draft this person. We should sign that person, but we don't do it. That's the same as being told no. You have to accept it and move on, right? Or do you just say, "Oh, they didn't sign my favorite player, so fuck that team. I'm leaving and never coming back." You ride with the squad, right? You got to learn how to be told no. You got to learn how to accept no. Understand what the word means and understand that being told no is not always a bad thing. Sometimes being told no might actually save your fucking ass. I wish I would have listened when my fiance told me no, let's not drive to fucking Yuma to go pick up the monitor that I'm using for my computer rig right now. Because if I would have listened, I would have saved myself a $562 ticket. See, I'm guilty of it too. Ah, shit. Hold on. 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 Boop. 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 Yeah. So yeah, when it comes to being told no, you just understand what that means. Like, just one thing we're not doing, and that's the I can tell the difference in generations is y'all not like us. I was born in '84. I'm an early '80s kid. I grew up in the '80s and the '90s. You know what that means? We played dozens when I was little. We made fun of each other. We cracked jokes. We did pranks. So small things we don't see that as disrespect because we know the difference between me saying I'm gonna bust your ass and I'm gonna bust your ass. One is serious and one is just joking. Can you tell? Because anybody from my generation can obviously tell. It just depends on the situation and what's going on. If we on hold please. If we on the sticks and I firing up Madden and I say I'm gonna bust your ass, guess what? That don't mean I'm about to take this controller and hit you in your motherfucking ass. That means I'm gonna turn this goddamn controller on. We gonna load up Madden and I'm gonna put up about 80 points on you. That's all that means. That don't mean I'm trying to fight. That don't mean I'm gonna shoot you because I lost. Ooh, I definitely feel you on that one, Floyd. Alcohol has it ruled me for a long time. No wasn't in your vocabulary for 20 years. Jeez, man. Damn, you as stubborn as me. Hey, Dre, what happening?
I'm good, man. You kind of left me hanging though. I was sitting here scrolling Facebook and I see you started. I was like, he just didn't want to tell the brother.
Nah, it was more of I knew you was cleaning because we got bright and early in like 12 hours.
Nah, man. My house is clean. My bags are packed. Checked in. I'm ready, man. I'm good.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is my big brother Dre. One half of Team Flatten Fools. I be the, that'd be me. That'd be me and him. You know, probably one of the best friends you could ever have, or one of the worst enemies if you ever get on his bad side. Dre, I'm not sure how much you caught, but what you got to say, bro?
What we talk about? What we talk about?
Well, we started with breaking generational curses. We talked about how people need to stop using their religion to oppress others, and that thing we talked about on this week about protecting predators. Especially like the ones we be having in our family. I addressed those two things, and right now we
Mm-hmm.
just talk about no means no, and it don't
Mm-hmm.
just mean sexually. Like because no can be you can be told no in business. That don't mean you pitch a bitch about it. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
being told no might be the best thing you hear. Mike Dre,
Absolutely.
Mike Dre isn't
Absolutely.
evil. Hush up. I mean,
I'm
yeah,
not
he
here.
might tell you to drink some hand sanitizer, but that's because you need it.
Well, the fact that somebody said who said it, uh, I'm not gonna talk about how they told somebody to do something with a bottle of Percocet. So
Oh no, no, no. We breaking stigmas today, bro. We breaking
we
stigmas
breaking
today.
stigma today, but I'm letting folks. I'm letting them know. Uh, you gotta let them know. Don't remind you not to get fucked up. That's
Oh,
all I'm
okay,
saying.
okay, okay. You got it. You got. You
You
got to
gotta
remind. You
remind
got to
folks don't
remind them
get
who
you
you
fucked
are.
up.
I got you.
Remind them who you are. Yeah.
I got you. I
So,
got you. I got you.
but as far as the generational curses, man, I mean that's been a problem with the black community for years. We always try to protect the molester, the abuser, the drug addict. You know, it's funny. Growing up in a black household, you got more respect coming out of prison than you did if you went to college or did something positive with yourself. Not saying that Not saying that coming out of prison a new person is wrong. It's just the fact that you get more props being coming out of that than actually doing right for yourself. Um,
I can't even disagree
I
with you
think
on that.
I think that has to change. I think that really has to change.
Yeah,
Um, because I'm a father. Dex, you're a dad now. You
best
know,
thing ever. I'm a girl dad
yeah,
too. Best thing ever.
yeah, it really is. But you also got to take into account that some of the stuff that we saw growing up, we can't apply that today. Um, because my son and your children, your daughters are growing up in a whole different. They're growing up in a whole different environment that me and you did back in the day.
Who
There's a
can
lot
tell?
more access to social media. There's a lot more access to the internet. So you really have to take into consideration what these kids are exposed to every day.
Yeah, that's true.
Um,
That's
and
very true.
and the generational curse, it has to be broken if you want to. If you don't want to end up like me or Dex before we went to go see our therapist, you have to really like buck the system sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So uh, it's crazy that I still see a lot of that's happening. Like everybody when Bill Cosby got arrested, when R. Kelly got arrested, and a lot of people was I see a lot of people say, well, what about Harvey Weinstein? We're not worried about that. Why don't you talk about that uncle that you can't leave your kids around because you know what's going to happen if you do? What about that abuser that when you leave the house and he's there with his wife or his girlfriend? And then even on top of that, let's flip it over. What about the husband that's getting abused? What about the boyfriend that's getting abused? Women abuse too. Let's get that out the way too. Women abuse too. Trust me, I've been in the Navy for a long time, and I've seen wives and girlfriends beat on their men. Let's cut that bullshit real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the fact that
You
and the
definitely
fact
right
that
on that.
even let's go even further. Let's go even further. When a man gets raped,
Yeah.
nobody wants to talk about that.
You
Nobody wants to talk about when
you
a man gets raped.
you definitely
You
right on
know.
them last two, man. We definitely we experienced it a lot in the military. Like there are some I hate to use that portrayal, but there's a lot of especially military women who have a hair thin trigger because they were trained to be that way because they were trained you can't take bullshit to get promoted, which
Yeah.
is technically true for them. Like it's dog eat dog in the military anyway, so they have to be ruthless.
Yeah.
I have seen military women beat their men damn near into a pulp.
Yeah. Or even when
Whew.
or when a man that turns down sex and
Yeah.
a woman
Eh,
feels
Believe it or
a
not,
wo-
ladies, there are times where we tired and we just be like, you know
we
what?
just want to go lay down. We don't want to. We just want to go chill. We just want to relax and
And a lot of us we have this thing called pride. We don't want to, I don't want to get you started, get you riled up, and then I let you down. You can be like, I know this nigga didn't just give me 3 minutes. Like,
right. And
nah, I don't want you talking to your girls about how I couldn't hang with you that night because I worked 12 hours. Nah, I'm good. I'm good.
right.
Now I got to do something special for you on your birthday. Nah, I'm good. Nah,
Right.
nah.
And it's sad that that's another generational curse that women can't do that. They always talk about women are the fair sex, and
Ain't
that's
no
and
problem
that's
for it.
true in some aspect. But hey, like I said, I've been in the military. Dex, you've been in the military. You've seen it before. But
Yeah. Yeah.
as far as this, I know I see a subject about toxic masculinity.
Mm-hmm.
I love and hate that word at the same time because to
Which
me,
one?
honest, toxic masculinity, I
I
think
have
is an
feelings for it.
oxymoron. I think it's an oxymoron. Um,
Yeah.
I think it's more of a
Yeah.
I think it's more of an upbringing of a man that's being brought up in a household with a man that feels a certain way. But
Yeah.
as we get older, like we have a duty to teach if we have sons or nephews
Yeah.
or any kind of male in our life. It's up to us to break that cycle of toxic masculinity. If it's a word, I don't really think it's a word, but I think it's more of a upbringing, and I think it's more of a just trying to break the norm. Honestly, just break the norm of how we used to think. Because there's a lot of stuff I
Right.
used to think. There's a lot of things I used to think that now I look back at it and I'm like, why did I think that? Because it was totally against what anybody else would say. You know what I'm saying? And it's one of those
Mm-hmm.
things where it's a delicate subject to talk about, and you really have to talk to it with some strong-minded men because there's a lot of men out there that thinks that it's normal, and it's not. It's really not. Especially when they had the whole Dwayne Wade situation and the Boosie situation, and you saw it like free flow
Yeah.
on that. And I've seen like a lot of men that try to cape for Boosie, and I'm like,
You know what? You right.
that's
Hold on.
that's not cool, man. Like it was a one dude that said, I'd rather my son be a pedophile than a homosexual. I was like, dog, I stopped talking after that. I really did because
Yeah. Well, I.
that's how a lot of men thought, and they agreed with that. It's crazy.
Oh no,
So
it's and I agree with you because you know I get what you're saying where it's not really a toxic masculinity thing. It's more of a toxic upbringing to where
hmm
they don't know better. But like we were saying, a lot of these kids nowadays haven't been told no, or and I won't even want to bring that situation up. But you got something like the Boosie situation where your child is 12, but you literally are force feeding him pussy. Like you're literally paying off a chick to a grown ass woman at that to do things to your child. That's I don't even want to think about how many charges that can be brought down. But
I just think, and then the fact of the matter is, so many men were defended it. I was just like,
that's nothing to defend.
I was
That's
like,
nothing to be proud of.
I was like, is this how most men think? And I really had to step back and say, well, damn. I had
Yeah.
to matter of fact, I had to talk to a few of my women friends, and I was like, man, I'm sorry, because growing up in that situation like that,
Yeah.
you really have your mind. And when men when boys grow up to be men like that, they expect to be entitled. They expect everything to my way or the highway type thing. Now you got a whole nother problem.
Yeah.
And it is like you said, it goes back to the generational curse that you said. It's a cycle. Somebody's got to eventually break it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it starts somewhere. I don't know when it's going to start, but eventually it's going to start somewhere.
It's got to start with us.
Yeah.
We have to do it because the longer we sit and just be like, oh, look at these fools, instead of helping guide them, it's gonna keep going because they are obviously lost because
hmm
the way that most of all of us were raised it is the way that Boosie was raised.
hmm
But we actually learned the difference between what's right and what's wrong, and we, like you said, we got into therapy, so we got to open our mind up into maybe maybe what I was doing and thinking ain't exactly what I need to be doing or thinking.
hmm
Maybe I could try something else and it might actually work. You know, because we stubborn, we vets. Let's be real. A lot of us, we are very unopen to change until that door's pried open.
hmm
So for us to say, okay, maybe we should try to change something up and look at something else, it takes a lot.
Right. It really
And
does.
and for
What?
us, these kids, this upcoming generation, that's all I need for me to be like, you know what? Maybe the way I was brought up might not work all the way, but that can be the same mistakes that I don't make for my babies.
You always gotta sell a sample for your kids, especially
Right.
me, because I have a son, and he's gonna carry on my legacy when I'm gone from this earth. So you know, don't get me wrong. If you're a girl dad or if you have daughters, you still have to do your part. But if you're a father of another young man, it's a whole different ball game because you have the power to change they're thinking and how they are brought up
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of the responsibility right now falls on the men. We're
Yeah.
expected to lead, to protect, to provide,
I'm just
and
trying to show them something different, right?
you have to because if you don't do that, then guess what? When you fall off the earth and when they get older, they're gonna do the same thing that they saw you do. Like Terrence, like I said, Terrence can see, well, this is what my dad did. I'm gonna do the same thing, and it could be negative. So
Yeah.
my it's my duty while I'm still living and breathing to show him what's right and what's wrong and what not to do, and not to do the mistakes I did growing up, becoming a young man and adult. So I have to show him that. And right now he's 13 right now, so he's at that age now where he's starting to really come into his own as a young man. So I really have to kind of steer him the right
Mm-hmm.
way. Is he going to make mistakes? Absolutely. But
Yeah.
as a father, I have to show him like, okay, you made the mistake. This is what we're going to do. What did you
Teaching,
learn from it? What did you learn
teaching
from it? It's
moments,
a
right?
teachable experience.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of men don't do that. They just be like, oh well, he's just gonna be like me. And then women be like, oh, that's why you just like your daddy. Oh, that's why you just like your granddaddy. It's up
Which
to us to break that.
which actually brings us into our next topic of being better providers, which in turn, one of those is being a better father. Even
Mm-hmm.
if even if you're not with the mother, you still got to be a better father. You know,
Mm-hmm.
because instead of, okay, my child made a mistake, instead of just dropping the hammer on them, use it as a teachable moment.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Kim will tell you, every time the girls mess up, yeah, I fuss, but I'm usually when I'm fussing, I'm telling stories. I'm trying to mold and help teach them. I'm not just, okay, well, you fucked up. Give me your Xbox. Give me your Switch. You're not leaving the house. You're not doing this. You're not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm okay. You did this. That obviously didn't work. Try it this way this time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what did you learn from doing it this way and slapping your head against that wall? Have you learned anything from continually tripping up and down these stairs?
Right.
No. How about trying it this way? Because another thing that we got to acknowledge is one of the big reasons why a lot of us have turned out the way we did is because we were disciplined the way we were.
Mm-hmm.
Either for some of us, our disciplines were very excessive, and some of us didn't get enough discipline.
It's
Let
got to
that
be a
sink.
balance. It's got to be a
That sink
balance
in.
somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be a balance somewhere. You can't just be going upside your child's head every other moment.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have a balance because if you just think that discipline is just going upside your child's head, you're not getting nothing accomplished. I'm not saying don't don't spank your child or whatever. But at the same time, you have to have a balance as far as discipline and stuff like that because you don't want to push your child so far away that they can't come to you in their time of need.
Right.
Because if when that happens, they turn into a rebel. They turn into everything that you said that you didn't want it to be. That's what they turn into.
Yep.
And we honestly,
Absolutely.
you can't really blame nobody but yourself. You can't
Absolutely.
really blame nobody but yourself. So you really have to balance it out to where, because me personally, I don't spank my child, but there have been times where I had to, like a very last resort. But he knows that when I'm serious, he knows I don't have to do a whole lot. But he knows that when his mom calls me and I talk to him, he already knows the deal
Yeah.
when I talk to him. So
Yeah. I mean, and you're absolutely right because I am a living example of it. My namesake, my father was extremely overboard, and it wasn't just to me. It was, I forget how many times he's been married. I believe it was like 7 times now. Don't I? We not gonna talk on that. But when he was with one of my stepmothers, she had 3 daughters,
mm-hmm,
and when I tell you he used to just fly off the handle about anything,
mm-hmm,
because he's also a police officer. you know, he's a police officer, he's a retired army, and pastor of a church.
Hmm.
A big barrel of how in the hell does that work together? I don't know, but he used to fly off the handle. And I'm telling you, like the beatings were to a point to where now it's to a point to where I really don't care about if I hear from him, because
Hmm.
when I tell you you can go too far and alienate your child to where your child just does not give a fuck if you survive or are alive or not. It happens.
Yeah.
It took me until Kim. How long has it been? 2 years now, 2.5. I think it was like 2.5 years ago when I woke up one day and said, you know what, I just don't give a damn anymore.
Hmm.
Whatever's going on, I did this issue that I have with him. It's always going to exist, but I ain't got time to hate him no more. Yeah, about two
Hmm.
years. It's like I don't care anymore.
Hmm.
And think about it. I just turned 36 7 days ago,
Hmm.
and it took me 34 years of my life to actually just be like, you know what, I really don't have an issue with you, old man. I understand that you are the way you are because of the way you were brought up.
Hmm.
Let my story be a lesson to you, to all of y'all. It took this grown man 34 years in therapy to get to a point to where I don't despise my father. 34 years. Any of y'all got 34 years? Y'all can just sit around hating on somebody that long?
That's growth. And then you got and then you got some people that they'll never do it for whatever
And,
reason. They have their reason. So.
and for me, it took therapy, the Marine Corps, you, Kim, the girls, and I think Kim and the girls was the final thing, the final piece of the puzzle that I needed. It was more of a I, for me to be a better dad for them. I'm gonna try to be. I'm gonna try to get to a point to where I'm not just holding in things that need to be let go of.
Hmm.
And that was one of them. Just my disdain for him is not going to change the fact that I'm still alive with my own children. It's not going to change the fact that he's still alive with children that he still can't remember when my birthday is. Yeah, don't ask me how my own father doesn't know my birthday and I was named after him. But yeah, long story.
Yep.
Either way. But another thing we need to do as I take a breath and we continue on this better providers is we need to stop letting people tell us that you know it's white to that's taking it the white route, trying to get an education or et cetera, et cetera. No, just because you're trying to better yourself, you might be trying to get your degree or go to a trade school. That is not being white. That's trying to make something better of yourself with the little bit of time you have on this planet.
Hmm. Yeah.
Because believe it or not, if your school is actually respected that do go to and graduate from, if your school is actually respected and you get a degree, your starting salary, if you can get in your field, is going to be a lot more than my starting salary getting into a field. That piece of paper that says you survived 4 years of them telling you what to do can be the difference between how many zeros you have on your check. Are you going to have five, as in you make maybe 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 grand a year? Or are you making 95, 96 to 100 grand to start?
Yeah. But to me also, it's not just the financial side either. to be a provider. You also have to provide to whoever is under your house
Mm-hmm.
or whoever you're involved with. You got to provide them physically, mentally, and emotionally too.
Mm-hmm.
I know we always talk about the financial side, which is fine, but you can have all the money in the world, but if you're not doing the other three or four, it's not going to matter. It's going to be a loveless relationship or marriage.
Yep.
You really have to you have to make sure that you cover everything, financially, emotionally, physically, mentally, all that stuff. You have to cover all that. So it's not just provider as far as what can I do financially to make you a better person. You have to also cover what can I do for this person emotionally. How can I reassure that person that I'm with them for the long haul? How can I physically make them better? How can I, go work
Mm-hmm.
out or be intimate with them or
Right.
just, show them affection, how much I love and care for them. And you also got to do it mentally as well. How good are you for my mental health? Do I can I come into my home and I know I'm gonna be at peace, or am I gonna come home and I know it's gonna be a fight or it's gonna be stressful? You have to be uh mindful of that as
Talk
well.
talk that talk, big homie.
As
Talk that
far as
talk,
as
bro. They
far
ain't listening.
as far as the provider wise, you really have to take it that into account because money can only do so much. And like
Mm-hmm.
Kim said, time is as precious as money. She's absolutely right. Matter of fact, I think it's more precious than money because you can always get your money back.
Yep.
You
You can
can't
make
get
your
you
money
can't
back.
get
You ain't
time.
getting your time back.
You can't get your time back, regardless of how much you think you can, and regardless of how much you think. Oh, I still got time. I still got time. When that minute goes, that's it. It's never coming back. It really isn't. So
I honestly,
you
go ahead.
really have to take into account everything,
Right.
everything as far as being a man providing for your wife or your girlfriend or your kids, because as a man you have to lead from the front.
Right.
That's what you have to do. As a man, you have to lead from the front. So when you have people in the house that's dependent on you to be the man of the house, you have to be on your P's and Q's because if you're not, then everything else is going to fall to the wayside. You can have a good job, but what about everything else?
Right. Right.
So that's
Um,
that's how I
you
do. So
you're absolutely right. I mean, because providing, especially when you have kids, also means guiding. You know, when you when you when you're finished doing your part, are you confident that they can be able to go out in the world and survive on their own? If you're not, then you haven't provided all the way yet.
and honestly, and I hate to sound harsh when I say this, but you have failed as a man
Uh,
if they don't.
absolutely.
If you have if
Absolutely.
And don't get me wrong. If you did all you could and they're still messing up, then that's fine. But if you are slacking on your job and your kids or your significant other goes out and they can't function, then you have failed as a man.
Yep. And Dre, I want to address on something you said just a second ago. Money is not as valuable as time. Time is way more valuable. And I'm gonna
Way more
explain to you.
value because
I'm
you
gonna
can all
explain to
because
I'm gonna explain to you
you
why. Because you spend time to make money
yeah.
that you end up spending, so you have to spend more time to make that money back. Only one of those things can come back, and that's money. That time ain't coming back.
Is that
Father Time has this thing where he set it to go in one direction, that way.
what's the saying? We say it all the time, even in sports. Father's time is
Is
undefeated.
undefeated. He's always gonna be undefeated.
It's always undefeated.
But I've been asked to do something real quick before we move on. I am going to do this real quick. Uh, I want to thank you all for tuning in. I'm pretty sure you're catching us on Strictly Prohibited on YouTube. That is Strictly Prohibited Network. And we thank you for tuning in. We have a bunch of other shows on various days. Red Cup Rants, champagne conversations, hodgepodge show, and more along the way. We also want to know is are any of y'all out there looking to maybe venture into the podcast world? You can always come join us. You know, you can bring a friend. I'm pretty sure if you know what you're doing, and even if you don't, we can teach you. If you have the right type of personality and you don't mind being criticized, because you know when you on social media they will criticize you, we can find a place for you. That being said, let me get right back to these topics so we can get up out of here because it is Sunday. The last topic that I want to cover today is this one. You got to know how to be a better leader. What I mean by that, and I want everybody to follow along closely, is for you to lead does not just mean that you're in the position to where I tell you what to do. Leading also means you have to think logically. You have to use, sometimes when the situation arises, you have to use less more emotion. Use less emotion, use more brain. If I led with emotion 100% of the time when it came to my kids, Daniel M. Thurl High School would not exist in Atlanta, Georgia anymore. Because the first moment one of them came home, this happened. All right, cool, bet. Hey, squad up, we rolling. Okay, so you know, as a black man, you have to use more logic. Think. Do not just fly off the handle. And I'm a veteran. I'm guilty. I'm guilty as fuck of you know, the fuck did he just say? Oh hell no. All right, I'll be back. Come here, private. What the fuck you just say to me? No, no. You have to be more logical. And yes, I understand, Kim. Yes, emotionless and unbiased for you is very hard at times. But we are a balance. You are very emotional and you be ready to ride. And I'm always trying to think and get the entire situation before I be like, all right, cool, let's ride. Because if I was emotional, that first time they told me they were having fights every day at the school, we would have found them a new school. Fuck it. No, what the fuck you talking about? Mm-mm. And another that also applies to more than just parenthood. That's in everything you do. You have to be more logical. You can't just walk into Walmart, hear people yelling, and be like, ah, shit, they yelling. I'm gonna start yelling too. What did you come to Walmart for? Oh, you came to Walmart to get a bag of salad, some bread, some drinks, and I don't know. Maybe you needed some garbage bags. Don't let your emotions get you wrapped up and say, all right, well, cool. They acting up. Let me act up. Think. Think. It is
Mm-hmm.
not illegal to think because if we are good leaders and we think, we run less of a risk of getting ourselves into a situation we might not walk away from.
Yep.
Because like I told y'all earlier, if I would have listened to my fiance when she said, let's just have it shipped to the house instead of trying to beat Father Time to Yuma, which I actually, believe it or not, when I got pulled over, I was actually ahead of my time that I would actually got there with time to spare. Don't ask me how I could push a 2006 Ford Fusion that hard and make it work, but I can. Trust me, it's not the vehicle, it's the driver. But if I would have listened and thought about what she said logically instead of being emotional because I just got my new rig and I'm excited, let me know. If I would have just listened and used my brain instead of my heart, I would have $562 more in my bank account right now. Let be hunted with you right now. I'm gonna be complete. I'm gonna be completely. Hold on, let me check my bank account right now. Let me see. Let me see. So, if I would have listened to my fiance and thought about things instead of being able to afford a Big Mac meal at the moment, I'd be able to afford a lobster plate. So,
Hey man, you live and you learn though, bro. You learn, you live and you learn. You have to, yeah. You have to live and you got to live and learn. You live and you learn, man. That's what
yeah, yeah, yeah,
that's what makes us unique,
yeah,
especially
yeah,
men, especially men. Cause you know us men are stubborn as hell, especially black men. You know
yeah.
I'm stubborn as shit.
The,
So
besides that, we and speaking of stubborn, that's the other thing we have to do. We have to learn how to listen. We got two of these, two ears, but only one mouth. We got two
sometimes
eyes,
you
two
use sometimes you use the mouth more than the other thing.
right.
So
We
yeah,
got two ears, and two eyes. We are supposed to see more and listen more and
yeah,
talk less.
yeah. Sometimes like my dad say it all the time. Sometimes you know you gotta know when to hold them and when to fold them.
Ah, yeah, Kenny. Kenny was the man, wasn't
Yeah,
he?
yeah. My dad say it
Absolutely.
all the time, but yeah, good
Yeah,
old Kenny.
yeah. Because if you listen more, you can grow that way. You learn how to evolve. Like with us in business, we're working on the network. We're working on structuring and fleshing out the business. And because we're doing that, we all have learned how to listen to each other instead of just saying, "I'm doing this." What has that gotten us? We all just been doing this the entire time, but we ain't doing shit. We can squall if we want to squall, woman.
Who said something about squalling?
Kim, look at this. Look
Shoot,
at
I
this. Look at this.
hey
Look
hey
at this.
look
Look at this. Look at this sheet.
hey, hey
What
look.
is this?
I've been squalling all day cleaning my house up, so I'm good.
Right. I can squall. Shoot.
Yeah, shoot, I was squalling all
Shoot.
day today.
Shoot. You
It's
telling
good.
me
Hey,
I
look, I
can't
don't care.
squall.
I don't care what nobody say. Squalling is good for the soul. It really is.
Right.
It's good for the soul. Especially when
Right.
when you got a lot on your mind, you have to let it out. So squalling is
Hell
the best
yeah,
way to
boy.
do
You give me that Drew Hill, that 5 steps, I squall all goddamn night, son.
it.
but
Right.
but yeah,
So
man, we have to listen more because
yeah.
I'm gonna ask you the truth. As a parent, what is the easiest way and the best way for us to learn our child? To
Listen.
listen to them
You
and
gotta
to
listen.
watch them.
And don't
Talk.
and don't and don't dismiss him as having a temper tantrum. Cause I my dad used to do that to me.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ever if your child has a legitimate concern, don't dismiss it. Don't dismiss it as being a child. Listen to them, because you
Right.
never know. Because who would you rather them listen to? Yourself or somebody outside your circle that has a negative influence? You gotta think about that. You really do. Something to think about.
Absolutely.
Really do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Anything else you got on being a better leader?
No, you pretty much hit it, and I explained it earlier. I was kind of jumping ahead, so my apologies. The man always supposed to be the front. He's supposed to be the forefront. That's
Mm-hmm.
my whole thing. So as a man, we have to set the example. We have to be the bar. That's how we have to be the standard. Especially if
Right.
you want your woman, especially, and it all goes back to a lot of men say, "Oh, I want my woman to be submissive." Well, she can't be submissive if you're unsure of yourself as a leader. If a man is so confident, if a man is confident and sure of himself as a leader, and he's doing everything right in his household, as far as his job, his financially, emotionally, physically, mentally, the woman's not gonna have a problem submitting. They're not. They're not gonna have a problem submitting. Now, if she's just an asshole, then you take that loss. But nine times out, 9 times out of 10, if a man is doing everything right by a woman, she's gonna submit
Yeah.
because she realized that she has good men on her team, and she's gonna stand by his side. and she's gonna let him run the household.
I've said it before. If you give a woman something to submit to, they have no problem submitting to it.
They have no problem submitting. That's why I said a lot of men talk about, oh, my woman don't submit. Well, what you doing wrong? Go look at yourself.
Yeah, yeah,
What
yeah.
what are you lacking? What department are you lacking in that she sees that you're lacking in? And talk to you. Look, please talk to your significant other. Please talk
Mm-hmm.
to your significant other. Don't be walking around mad with them because you have a problem with them, but you don't want to tell them. You want to tell everybody else but them.
Right. Um.
Talk to your partner. Tell
And
them what's wrong. Tell them what needs to be fixed. Because
right.
if you go and tell everybody else and your partner's left out in the dark, then what? Now you
Right.
mad. Now you mad 2 times.
And your partner left out in the dark, so therefore they don't know what's making you mad.
They don't know what's
So
going
when
on. They
so
don't know
when
what's
they
making you
do what
mad.
makes you mad again, you sitting there looking like, I know this bitch didn't just do this again. You ain't told her that pissing you
You
off.
ain't told them the first time. You have to, like I said, you have to let your partner know what's going on.
Right.
You really do. Because if you just sit here and you're looking at them and you just be like, I wish I could just smack that motherfucker upside the head. Okay, well tell him that.
Yeah.
Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that hard. We're in 2020 now. It's all that
Yeah.
subliminal shit, all that high school shit,
Yeah. That
that's
that
all
that's
on the
words.
wayside. That's all
Uh,
on the wayside.
Also, I agree with you. I definitely agree with you on the submission thing. However, fellas, listen to me. Her submitting doesn't mean you just, it's my way. Period.
Exactly. You have to compromise. You have to compromise.
It's
Just
still
because
it's still an equal
you still have to
partnership.
work at it.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh
You
my
you really
goodness.
do. You
Right.
really do.
And
Just because
see,
your woman submits to you doesn't mean that you can run her over and chump
right.
her.
Like, cause
You gotta.
if y'all saw how my house works, Kim, it might be emotional, sometimes overly emotional, and she'll admit that to you. But the way our house works is I lead from the front, but when it comes to speaking, I'm the last person to speak in the house. She will handle most of the communication because she knows if it's gotten up to that point, then it's already to a breaking point to where either she's tired or all hell brought to break loose. So the way our tree in our house works is we are equal partnership, but when it comes to there's an issue, you might want to hope Kim handles it because if she's got to come get me, it's not going to be a good time. Because for one, that means you disrespected her because she told you otherwise, and you continue to do so.
You gotta have a balance.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta have a balance.
Mm-hmm.
You
Absolutely.
really have to have a balance. If you
Absolutely.
don't have a balance in your household as a man, to be
Mm-hmm.
a bit, first of all, you failed as a leader if you don't
Right.
have balance in your household.
And that's the balance that we have
You
because
have to have.
she
You
she
have to have
submitted
that.
she has submitted to me, yes, but at the same time, it's not like
And ladies,
I'm
let me tell you something. Ladies, let me tell you something. Being submissive does not mean you're whooped. It doesn't. It really
it
doesn't. So get
absolutely
that
does not.
out. Get that out your head. Being submissive to your man does not mean you lost, or doesn't mean that you're whipped. It just means that you're equally yoked with your partner or your
Yep.
husband or your boyfriend. You're equally yoked, and y'all are basically the center of that household.
Right.
So if any woman out there talk about I don't want to be submissive to my man, shut up. Shut up.
Yep.
Just be quiet. Because that's not what we're talking about here. It just means that you see that you have a strong man that is taking care of you and the kids and is doing everything right by you. So that's pretty much what it means, that you're letting him be a man. Because I know a lot of women out there right now, they like, I ain't never gonna be submissive to my man. Okay, well, you don't have to. Then you're gonna see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
That man gonna get tired of you trying to run the household. You're like, you know what? You can just run it by yourself then.
Mm-hmm. Damn sure will.
Yeah. Yeah. So get
Also,
that out.
fellas,
So ladies, get that out your head. That does not mean that you're whipped or you lost. So get that out your head.
speaking of which, fellas, back over here.
Yeah.
Stop saying that you a simp, that people are simps for just treating a woman with actual human decency and respect. Who started that dumb shit?
Everybody that listens to Future,
Stop it. Get some help.
everybody that clowns on Russell Wilson, I just be like, no, That man's doing right by his woman and doing everything,
Y'all are,
and it all falls back. It all falls back to what we talk about: that toxic upbringing, that toxic masculinity. That's where it falls back from because cause think about it, Dex. When we was growing up as boys, what we was all
whew,
talking about: how many women we can get, how many
yeah,
girlfriends we got, how
yeah,
many numbers we can get, all
yeah,
that, and then
yeah.
eventually it goes higher to
It
when you're
almost
old.
became a competition of,
It pretty much.
man, I did this and I did that. And,
I got old girl's number. I got old girl's number at this dance. I got old girl's number. I'm like, I mean, don't get. I mean, I'm guilty because I did it because I was a kid. I was a teenage boy, and I was like, whenever we went, Dex, whenever we went out somewhere with your partners, we always had that contest. Who can get the most numbers?
yep.
Who gonna always get the most numbers? You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? So, and that elevated to a higher level to where men would treat women as trophies, as a
Right.
conquest.
And,
So it was
and
hard for
still ain't
men
grown
to
up. And a
yeah, it
lot of them
still ain't
still
grow.
ain't
They're
grown up.
still in that mentality,
Hmm.
and it goes to where when a man wants a relationship, he can't break away from them old tendencies because
He
now
don't know what to do with himself.
you don't know what to do with himself because you with a woman now with one woman, and now you got that itch, and now you go out and you go outside the box, especially when you have an argument with your woman or you have an argument with your wife or whatever. Now you want to go and look outside the box instead of trying to work things out. You go outside the box. Now it's a whole different problem.
Right. Right.
So that always goes back to being a better father, being a better husband, being a better leader. You got some of that stuff you got to break because if you keep doing that over time and time again, you're gonna end up by yourself.
True.
You really
Well,
are. So
we've
that's
reached. We man, bro, I'm gonna have to bring up the collection plate to the house in a minute. But we've reached the end of this here session with on the couch, also known as Breaking the Stigma. So I welcomed y'all to the pressure cooker. So now let me go ahead and put this release valve on y'all. Is there anything else you need to say? Get up off your chest. You know what I'm saying? You know how we do. You know how Red Currents do. You got the lad. You got the. You know you got your final saying. You know, go ahead get whatever you got your chest. If you need to plug something. If you whatever you got to say, just say it, man. Let it on out.
no, I don't got anything. We pretty much talked about everything.
Okay.
Just I just look at it like it's a teaching experience for everybody, not just us men.
Right, right.
It's for us women as well. We always we're always learning. I know a lot of people out there saying, "Oh, I got it, I got it, I got it," but you're never too old to learn something new. Trust me, I'm about to be 40 next month. I'll be 40 years old, and I'm still learning.
Right.
I'm still learning things. Just take it with a grain of salt. If you don't agree, yeah, speak up, but then just take what you can from it and then apply it to your life if it applies. If it doesn't, then don't jump on that person for trying to make it better. Just take it day by day. I appreciate my brother letting me come on this platform. I was kind of surprised he went this early because I was waiting on him, and all of a sudden he jumped on the YouTube, and I'm like, he didn't even tell me what was going on. Told him I was going to be on it. So,
I
but
didn't I didn't remember that you said you wanted to join out because I was just like, well, fine, let me go ahead and hit this show, get it out the way because we got an early start.
well, I told you that yesterday at the house. I said, hey man, let me jump on because I ain't. I mean, I'm
I
done. All I gotta do is
my
I'm
brain don't
relaxing.
be my brain don't be clicking all the time, but
Hey man, my bags are packed. I'm checked in. My house is clean. I'm good. So I ain't got nothing but time today. So we
church,
good. Yeah, we good.
church.
So, but I appreciate you letting me come on for a little
Oh
bit
man,
and
come
just
on
express
now.
how I feel, and
Yeah, ain't
you
no
know,
problems, man.
it's all good.
You
So, but
use
I
a
don't really
part use an essential part of the show, son.
like Iron Man, man. That's what the dude called me last Tuesday. He called me Iron Man. So
Cause use the ringleader of the debauchery. You was
I'm gonna
kind of the
change my
ringleader
name.
everybody in.
I'm gonna change my name to Tony Stark from now on. My name gonna be Tony Stark.
Well, you gonna be the Black Tony Stark then. I ain't mad at you.
Hey man, that's a nice name too. So, but I ain't got nothing to say, man. I'm gonna let you go ahead and clean up, and close the show
I
out, man. So I'm good.
well, let's see. Yeah, fellas, and I'm guilty too. We
Yeah.
gotta stop trying to do everything by ourselves. That's first and foremost. Second, We are not. Yeah, yeah, that definitely me. That's me.
Yeah.
We are not subject matter experts on every fucking thing.
Nope.
There's gonna be times and situations that we don't know the answer. It's okay
Hmm.
to reach out to help. I am an
Definitely.
audio. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. I'm an audio engineer, and I have helped with businesses. I have business. I have a business. I have an LLC in my name. But as an audio engineer and as a business owner and manager, I know that there's some people better than me. Like my brother Matt. Matt is better at audio than me, and he's better at running a business than me. He's ran three.
Hmm.
So when it comes to things like business, I ask someone with more experience, with more knowledge for advice, and it's okay to do so. We have to
Yep.
get into a mindset that it is not a handicap. It is not a crutch to ask for help. Stop
Hmm.
trying to do things that you don't know what the fuck you're doing by yourself. Ask for
Yeah.
help.
Yeah, trust me. I'm not the most technical savvy guy. That's why I asked Dex and Mike and Matt
Mhm.
because I am not the most technical savvy guy. So I'm
But
quick to ask them stuff.
but Dre will tell you when it comes to certain things, sports. Hey, bro, when was this on this day? What happened with Arrow? I got you.
Yeah.
Dre's Rain Man when it comes to these sports now. We might be Georgia kids, but he follows the sport as well. I don't took too many blumps to the head. I don't remember.
Right.
Ooh, boy, I led with my head one too many times. I understand what you're talking about, Coach. Don't do that. Don't do that.
You know what happens, man. Hey, look, we all played safety in high school, and our coach always said, "Don't lead with your head," but you know we're hard headed, so
Mike, you don't run everything. You don't know everything, Mike. And Matt, you're absolutely right. It does take more. It takes more strength than we actually will ever give credit to say that we need help. And with that being said, I just want y'all to know that here, Breaking the Stigma, whether it's on Twitch, on YouTube, or if you need to find us on Facebook, we are here to help. Okay? That being said, I'm going to close the show out and I'm going to do it in the way that I'm supposed to do it. Thank you for tuning in to Breaking the Stigma right here on Strictly Prohibited Network, right here on YouTube. That is youtube.com / I can't remember the damn. It's a whole bunch of letters and numbers. Just put Strictly Prohibited Network in the search box and you'll find us there. You can find us on Twitch. Right now it's under my Twitch at Atlanta Dex, Atlanta underscore Dex. I am an Atlantean that is now in the Southwest and it's hot.
yep.
Red Cup Rants is every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is 5 p.m. Pacific. 6 p.m. Mountain. I'll break all the time zones down for y'all on another date. Let's see. Champagne Conversations is well. They have a page and they're gonna put their schedule out there, but it's Thursday nights. Time frame to be determined. Um, Hodgepodge is on Saturday nights. I believe that is a 10 p.m. start time, 10 p.m. Eastern start time. I'll have to check with the fellas. They may have changed it. B. Jones is coming. Brian Jones, for those of you who know him, he's coming. He is going to be on Strictly Prohibited Network. But for all of y'all, I do thank everyone for tuning in. I would just ask y'all to like, share, and subscribe when it comes to y'all on YouTube. Thank you once again for tuning in. And if you need to look me up on Facebook. You can type in my name, Dexter Mines. It'll pop up. Just look for the guy with the mask. That be me. If you need to find me on Twitch, not Twitch, but Twitter, at dmines25, you can look me up. If you need help, if you need resources, or if you just need some motivational words, hit me. I
And
don't mind.
don't come looking for me because I'm gonna deny your friend request. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He ain't about them new people. Who sent you?
no new friends, no new friends, no new friends, no no
Okay,
no.
I've been informed that the Champagne Conversations next show will be at June 18th, which is this upcoming Thursday at 8 p.m. By the way, if you hear loud shrieking in the background during that show, that's because the new Pokemon Sword and Shield expansion that would have just came out, and my daughter will be playing that. So you might hear her squeal a
Oh,
little
and
bit.
another thing, Mad Mike, you can kiss my whole ass. I ain't evil.
Well, that just took a word.
You saw
That
that?
just
You see that? You see how you see
that
how your brothers
that
do you?
that's
You
the
see
second time he said it. He said it
you
earlier
see
today
how you
too.
see how your brothers do you? See, that's all right. I'll be
Yeah,
on that
cause
side, and I'll be on that side tomorrow. So don't be surprised. I'll pull up and give you the skibbity pass when I pull up. So
oh no, okay, but yeah, we want to thank everybody for tuning in. I appreciate y'all watching all our 1 hour and 15 minutes of this debauchery, and hopefully it
we
helped you with some things. And I will see y'all next. Next week is Father's Day. I'll see y'all next week.
yeah, Father's Day, and well, we have a show next week. I'll let you know. But happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. I'm not gonna go into my tirade about how I feel about it but if we do have a show next week, I might jump on that subject a little bit. So
We'll do a Father's Day special about fathers. How about that?
yeah, I'm good with that.
That way, if you need to go on to that subject, because I know which one you about to talk about with the single mothers claiming that boy, don't I usually I used to massacre it every year. Remember,
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Me
me too.
too. I kind of cooled off a little bit, but I might need to bring it back to the forefront. So
Well, we'll be here next week. Same snick time, same snick station, and we out.
word.